Hello, welcome to What's Up in Business Travel, a Business Travel 360 podcast where we update you each week on what's happening in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those that need to know what is happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, March 3rd, and we've completed week 9 of 2026. Let's get to the headlines. U.S.-based travel agencies recorded more than $10 billion in air ticket sales in January. That's a 7% increase year over year, according to ARC. It also marks the first time monthly agency air sales have crossed the $10 billion threshold since ARC began tracking the data. The strong start follows ARC's report that total agency air sales exceeded $100 billion for the first time in 2025. Passenger trips also grew, reaching over 28 million in January, up 6% year over year. Domestic trips rose 4% to 17 million, while international trips surpassed 11 million, a 8% increase compared to January 2025. Corporate and government travel booked through agencies declined again in January, falling 2.5% year over year, according to ARC. The drop continues a trend that began in 2025, when corporate travel decreased in 10 of the year's 12 months. At the same time, NDC adoption continues to rise, accounting for 20% of ARC's settled transactions in January compared to 16.5% a year earlier. More than 1,200 agencies reported NDC activity. Airfares also increased, while the average domestic round-trip ticket rising to $581. Economy class fares climbed 7% to $516, while premium cabin class tickets increased 3% to an average of $1,406. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico has lifted its shelter-in-place advisory for Americans in western Mexico following a law enforcement operation that triggered violence after killing a major cartel leader. The advisory, issued on February 22nd, affected areas including the resort destination of Puerto Vallarta. By February 24th, public transportation, businesses, and flights had largely returned to normal operations, with airlines adding extra flights to help stranded travelers leaving the region. While the shelter order has ended, the U.S. government personnel in some areas remain under nighttime curfews. The U.S. State Department did not raise Mexico's travel advisory level, which remains at level 2. Major online travel agencies significantly increased marketing spend in 2025, investing a combined $20 billion to attract travelers. Booking Holdings and Expedia Group accounted for more than three-quarters of the total, with Booking spending $8 billion and Expedia almost $7.5 billion. Airbnb invested $2.5 billion, while China-based Trip.com Group spent $2 billion, up 25% year over year as it expands internationally. Marketing spending has steadily climbed over the last few years, rising from $16.8 billion in 2023 to $17.8 billion in 2024, before reaching $20 billion in 2025. This spending reflects intense competition among travel platforms to capture demand and grow direct bookings while expanding global market share. Spirit Airlines expects to exit Chapter 11 bankruptcy in late spring or early summer after reaching an agreement in principle with bondholders to support its restructuring. The plan includes fleet reductions, cost cuts, and network adjustments designed to make the airline leaner and more competitive. Spirit has already petitioned to auction 20 additional aircraft, which will reduce its fleet to 94 planes from 214 before its bankruptcy filings. The airline has also furloughed crew and cut capacity, flying to 13 fewer destinations than a year ago. After restructuring, Spirit expects its debt and lease obligations to fall from $7.4 billion to approximately $2.1 billion. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Booking Holdings is seeing strong growth in its connected trip strategy, which allows travelers to book multiple trip components such as flights, hotels, and cars within a single transaction. The CEO said that these bundled bookings grew in the high 20% plus range in 2025 and represented a low double-digit percentage of the total Booking.com transactions. Flights played a major role in driving growth, with the segment increasing 37% year over year and generating close to $17 billion in gross bookings. Booking.com is investing in infrastructure such as payments, customer service, and AI to support multi-product bookings. Flights will also help attract new customers and encourage existing users to book more of their travel through Booking.com's ecosystem. Low-cost airline Avelo Airlines is pursuing profitability through a revised strategy that includes fleet modernization and a more focused route network. Analysts say that the approach is coherent but remain uncertain about its long-term success. The airline posted a $6.4 million operating loss in the third quarter of 2025 and a $35 million net loss for the first 3 quarters of the year. Avelo recently secured a major investment and placed an order for 50 E-195 aircraft scheduled for delivery starting in 2027. In the meantime, the airline is scaling back operations and reducing its Boeing 737 fleet as it restructures its network while waiting for the new aircraft. Frontier Airlines plans to reduce its historical growth rate and limit annual expansion to about 10% as it seeks to return to profitability. The low-cost airline reported a $137 million net loss in 2025 and continues to face financial pressure. Their CEO said that slower growth should help prevent fare erosion while still allowing expansion into profitable markets. Frontier is also returning 24 Airbus A320 aircraft and delaying delivery of 69 additional Airbus planes from 2027 to 2030. Despite the adjustment, Frontier Airlines still expects to receive 24 new Airbus aircraft this year and plans to increase aircraft utilization to lower pre-seat costs. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. Hedge fund Elliott Investment Management has reduced its stake in Southwest Airlines after selling 7.5 million shares between February 11th and February 23rd. The sales, priced between $50.35 and $54.83 per share, leave the activist investor with about 45 million shares, representing a 9.3% ownership stake. Elliott initially invested in Southwest Airlines in June 2024 when shares were trading around $30 and has since pushed for significant operational changes, including assigned seating and baggage fees. The partial divestment allows Elliott to capitalize on the surge in Southwest stock price, which has risen more than 55% since late August. Elliott has recently shifted attention towards Norwegian Cruise Line holdings after acquiring more than 10% of its shares. Travel technology provider Amadeus has acquired AI-powered corporate travel assistant SkyLink for an undisclosed amount as part of its strategy to expand artificial intelligence capabilities across the travel ecosystem. Founded in 2021, SkyLink offers a chat-based booking platform that integrates with workplace communication tools like Microsoft Teams and Slack. The technology allows travelers to search, book, modify, or cancel travel while receiving personalized and policy-compliant recommendations. Amadeus said SkyLink's AI-native architecture complements its existing APIs and global infrastructure, enabling the technology to scale across travel management companies. The acquisition follows Amadeus's earlier investment in AI startup Akai Travel and reflects the company's growing focus on embedding AI-driven tools into corporate travel workflows. Uber has agreed to acquiring parking reservation platform SpotHero, expanding its role in the travel and transportation ecosystem. Financial details of the deal were not disclosed. Once integrated, SpotHero will allow Uber users to reserve parking directly within the Uber app, targeting commuters, airport travelers, and event attendees. SpotHero currently enables users to search, book parking at more than 13,000 garages, lots, and valet locations across more than 400 cities in the US and Canada. Uber plans to incorporate parking benefits into its Uber One membership program, though details have not yet been finalized. The acquisition aligns Uber's strategy to broaden its services beyond ride-hailing and food delivery while keeping users within its platform ecosystem. WestJet and Virgin Atlantic have expanded their partnership to allow members of WestJet Rewards and Virgin Atlantic's Flying Club to earn points across each other's full flight networks. WestJet Reward members can also redeem points towards flights operated by Virgin Atlantic when booked through WestJet's website, including routes via London Heathrow to destinations such as Dubai, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and the Maldives. The move represents WestJet's first reciprocal loyalty partnership in nearly a decade, and the first since it revamped its rewards last year. The expanded cooperation strengthens connectivity between the airline's networks and gives travelers more opportunities to earn and redeem points on long-haul international routes. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. Uber has unveiled a new feature that will allow users to book Joby Aviation's electric vertical takeoff and landing air taxis directly through the Uber app once the service launches. The offering, branded Uber Air by Joby, will appear as a transportation option when users enter a qualifying route, enabling seamless booking of both ground transportation and the air taxi ride within the same trip. Joby plans to begin passenger flights in Dubai later this year. The aircraft can carry up to 4 passengers, traveling at speeds of 200 miles per hour, and has a range of roughly 100 miles per charge. The partnership builds on Joby's 2021 acquisition of Uber's Elevate division, which could eventually expand to cities including New York, Los Angeles, London, and Tokyo. Hyatt Hotels will expand the World of Hyatt Loyalty Program's award chart from 3 redemption levels to 5 starting in May. The new structure, lowest, low, moderate, upper, and top, replaces the current off-peak, standard, and peak tiers introduced in 2021. Hyatt will continue using a fixed award chart rather than dynamic pricing, with hotels categorized from 1 to 8 depending on property tier. The change gives Hyatt greater flexibility to adjust redemption pricing across its portfolio. However, it could also make the programs more complex for members and potentially increase the number of points required for high-end stays. IHG Hotels and Resorts has introduced the Noted Collection, a new soft brand aimed at independent hotels in the upscale and upper upscale segments. The brand is designed to attract conversions by allowing properties to maintain their unique identity while gaining access to IHG's global distribution, revenue management tools, and the IHG One Rewards loyalty program with more than 160 million members. Each property must feature a unique design, curated guest experiences, and personalized service touches such as handwritten notes. The brand will also sit within IHG's premium tier alongside brands like Crowne Plaza and Voco. IHG plans the Noted Collection to grow to more than 150 properties worldwide over the next decade, with the first hotels launching across Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. Skyscanner has launched a ChatGPT app that allows travelers to search for flights using natural language through OpenAI's AI chatbot. Available in the US and UK, the tool lets users request flights conversationally, compare options, adjust travel dates or airports, and receive live pricing results. When ready to book, travelers are redirected to partner sites similar to Skyscanner's traditional platform. The company says that the integration combines its flight search algorithms and pricing data with a more intuitive conversational interface to reduce friction in trip planning. Skyscanner joins several travel companies building apps inside ChatGPT, including Expedia, Booking.com, Hyatt, Accor, and Uber. The company also continues expanding AI-powered tools across its own platform for hotel and car rental searches. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in again next week on Monday to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone that you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. Remember to subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on your favorite podcast music player. You can also listen at businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.